let me get on with some of the more pressing, immediate commercial issues that you're dealing with. I think one has been a big reconfiguration of the supply chain right from the time that the US entered a trade war with China. And then we had the pandemic and now the war. How are you rethinking your supply chain? Because M&M was one of the worst hit when it came to the chip supply shortage.
Automobile industry does tend to be worse hit because it takes a long time to recreate a part that doesn't have the right chip because of the testing involved and everything else. So the lead times are much longer. What this has done for us is really made us a lot more resilient because our supply chain teams are now looking at various scenarios and planning for various scenarios. And it has eased significantly versus what it was during the COVID timeframe. But I continue to expect shocks that we will see. The world is a very different place today, and we have to be ready for that. So the resilience that has been built in by some of these issues we've gone through will see us going forward.
No, I get that. But could you be more specific? Because from what I understand, M&M was hit far worse than many other Indian auto companies. And so I was wondering if there was a supply chain configuration that meant that kind of impact on you, and whether in the medium to longer term you're able to turn things around. This chip shortage seems to be pervasive. And I think most chip companies are saying it will definitely last through the course of this calendar year.
Yes. So let me explain first what happened. Uh, a specific plant in Malaysia that's owned by ST Micron made chips that went into some of the key components that we buy from one of the global suppliers. That plant was shut down because of COVID. So any automotive supplier around the world who bought from that plant did not have supply for 2 or 3 months. Okay. So therefore, it's a problem that in a sense hits randomly in one place or the
Yes,
other.
of course, yes.
Right? What our supply chain teams are doing now is to look at how can you solve for that in advance. There's a higher cost to it, and which is why we've been in a mode of just-in-time inventory. We've been in a mode of single source to lower cost. Now all of those things are being relooked at and saying, how do we plan for eventualities? What if? And look at various what if scenarios and how do we address for all of them.
So you've addressed my answer now specifically, and I think this is what I was trying to get at. In this reconfiguration of supply chains, not just at M&M, not just at Indian companies, but everywhere else, are we going to see significant impact on costs?
We will see some impact on cost.
We will, right?
Because having what if scenarios addressed effectively means that you need backups in place. A backup will have some cost.
Correct.
And therefore, that's something that companies do have to plan for. And they've got to get much smarter at trying to assess what are the optionality plays in a sense. So how much can I put in to buy an option, which may be a low cost, but if that scenario comes in, then I can put in more money to exercise that option. So I think of it from that financial standpoint.